Today I'm working on the steering shaft, the brake pedal, a little bit on the firewall, and getting the shifter connected. So let's get going on that. Okay, here's my steering shaft, just keeping it stock right off the Crown Vic, and then just welded on this 3/4 bar here, and this is the custom U-joint for the column I'm using. But first, we got to get the shifter system worked out so we can put that on before this goes on there. I wasn't crazy about how it felt when I mocked it up and how it felt when I was shifting. This is what comes out of the Crown Vic. This is the cable, the shifting cable. There's all the gears. And the stock arm that comes off the column has this rubber bushing in it with this sleeve. And the farther over it got, the more this rubber would give and the sleeve would turn. And it just didn't make for a very solid shift. Didn't feel real solid. So went to Ace Hardware and got one of these pins with a hole in it for cotter pin. That's the exact same diameter as the cable, or the cable linkage there. Welded that pin to a washer and the washer to that. Now it's super solid. It's not going to give. It'll feel much better. Of course, I'll put some grease on there for longevity and lubrication. So that's the fix for that. Just got a package from Carolina Classics. I'm very excited about. So I figured I'd unbox it on camera. So this he told me the box was a little old, which I don't mind. It's fine. Doesn't bother me. Let's get rid of this. This is a 21 circuit wiring kit for the truck. So we got headlight switch, we got some gaskets for stuff. I'll show you what that goes to in a second. But yes, this is an easy wiring kit that's going to make wiring the cab of the truck and the lights, all the lights and everything, a heck of a lot easier than trying to make the old one work. And I'm sure you've seen these before. Every foot or so, each wire is labeled as to what it goes to, so it's pretty foolproof. It's really high quality wire too. It's definitely not that cheap stuff. That's exciting. That's really exciting. Then, and this, let's see, we got more wiring there, some connectors to things. And it's got everything. I mean, if I wanted to put power windows in it, if I wanted to run the fuel pump through here, I could. Radio, all sorts of, could even do AC and heat, electric fan. Obviously turn signals, hazard. It's just really neat that it's all laid out. It's super easy. Saves a lot of headaches. And look at these. Man, these look good. A really high quality repop. And the tail light lenses. Then we got the signal lights from the grill. Those are really nice too. Yeah, it's like factory. So that's awesome. That's exciting. So this will be a fun video to make because I'm excited to get this all installed and get the truck wired up. Man, we're just getting so close to driving this thing legally with all the lights. Looking at the instructions of this, This is really, really cool. It's got each individual power line and everything for each individual gauge. I could run all these gauges if I wanted to. That is really neat. Instructions are laid out really well too. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. I like that it's laid out this way instead of just trying to read words and make sense of all that. That's cool. Alright, back to the truck. And I'll put a link to this kit on Carolina Classics page in the description below. It's a universal kit. You could use it with, you know, anything really. Any kind of hot rod, truck, car, boat, whatever you want to use it for. So I'll put that down below. You can look for it there. I've decided that I am going to run this other connector through the firewall too, because it does have connections to the brake pedal and throttle, and I had planned on just running them down the frame rail and then running the wires up in from the bottom, but that wouldn't look good. So I'm just going to go in through there, and then the fuel pump and fuel pump reset switch and stuff, I'll just run that towards the back of the cab and then down and out. So get started on that. I got the other plug in there. It was easy enough. Now I want to start figuring out how I want to lay out my wiring, where I want to put the battery junction box. That's kind of dictated by the connectors and the length of the connectors. I mean, I guess I could extend the wiring and stuff, but I'll just see if I can get away without having to do that. Well, I've installed the inner fenders that had to be trimmed quite a bit, and hooked up all the wiring. So should we see if it runs? I think so. Okay, here we go. If it doesn't start, this is the first time I've tried to start it, so if it doesn't start, I'll leave it in the video and then show you what was wrong and why it didn't start, but let's give her a shot. Fuel pump primed. That's a success. I'm very excited about that. That spinning down noise that I heard after you shut the engine off is the center shaft on the alternator. But the alternator still turns, and that's weird. I have to look into that. But it runs. It sounds good. And it's nighttime, which sucks because I want to take it down the road. I guess I could duct tape a couple flashlights. Oh man, that's exciting. Need a celebratory beer. The rough idle that it had on it, I didn't have my mass airflow sensor hooked up. That's the one thing I missed. That's huge. It's running. I'm very excited. Very relieved. The brakes work fine. It shifts into the gears, and I can't wait to test drive it. Take it up and down the road a couple times. I'm kind of thinking about Hot Rod Power Tour. Coming right through the center of Iowa. Like pretty much right by my house. So I think I want to start in Kansas City and then run it up and over to Davenport. It'd be an awesome first real big outing. So if you're planning on going on Hot Rod Power Tour this year, look for the truck. Come say hey. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you're as excited as I am. I don't know if that's possible. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.